When you walk into PepsiCo's New York City office, you see what you might expect from one of the world's most iconic brands, ranging from classic neon signs of the famed soda dating back to the early 1900s, to video clips of early 2000s ads featuring Britney Spears. But the office also serves as the nerve center for PepsiCo's in-house ad agency, the Content Studio, a 4,000 square foot space with all the accoutrements of a Hollywood production company. Launched in 2020, the Content Studio produces hundreds of projects and more than 10,000 unique creative assets annually. Since 2022, the number of staffers for the studio has doubled to nearly 50. The team is led by Lou Arbetter.
This should be fun. We have a saying at the studio that we talk about a lot. We just want to create cool shit and have fun while we do it.
Meanwhile, Jayne Amrosini is the head of strategy at the Content Studio.
We're not just here as an in-house studio to create great work. We're capability builders. We're here to raise creative excellence across the board.
The studio creates ads for the flagship Pepsi brand and corporate siblings such as Tostitos and Mountain Dew, of course. But it also produces feature films, including the hoopster comedy Uncle Drew and critically acclaimed documentaries like Stewart 27, a profile of Malcolm Stewart, one of the only black motocross racers in the sport, and Memes and Nightmares, which examines the mysterious disappearance of a popular NBA meme.
Meme? What meme? What are you talking about?
Several of the movies produced by the studio have been recognized by more than 15 film festivals, including Sundance and Tribeca. As the agency grows its exposure in the entertainment field, it generates more value for the food and beverage brand. Arbetter stresses that in-house ad agencies have moved well beyond their original mandate to cut marketing and advertising costs and are now looking to build a better business case with upper management, in addition to constantly pushing the creative envelope.
Saving money is not that difficult to do. The trick, though, is to save money while creating great work. In fact, you could argue sometimes you shouldn't worry so much about saving what really amounts to minor amounts of money, right? A production that's $50,000, maybe you can do it for $25,000, but what's the end result? How are you going to break through with consumers? How are you really going to connect so that they buy millions of dollars worth of product?
In the last decade or so, in-house agencies have become de rigueur among brand advertisers, nearly doubling to roughly 82% of the A&A's 1,100 client-side members. About 61% of the work is now being done in-house, and the rest handed to outside agencies. Count Apple, Coca-Cola, and Disney as just a few of the top brands with in-house agencies, as the C-suite looks to align marketing and advertising with the top and bottom lines. The remit for in-house agencies continues to expand, with managing workflow, prioritizing projects, and providing scale the top three challenges. As the attention economy looms large, the Content Studio is looking to enhance its visibility in an ever-fragmented media environment. Last summer, for instance, the studio elevated its relationship with ad agency Vaynermedia to create a new social media marketing capability.
So the company's actually invested more for us to scale our social efforts. So Vayner has grown and the in-house team has grown. But we are now working shoulder to shoulder, side by side, literally in each other's offices to elevate the work that we're doing. And this is giving us both insight into what the brand's needs are. So our team certainly brings a deep understanding of the brands themselves, the problems we're trying to face, the targets we're trying to reach, the consumers we're trying to speak to, and Vayner brings deep understanding.
Since PepsiCo partnered with Vayner, the blended team has boosted impressions per post by 200%, resulting in 1.4 million more people seeing ads from Pepsi and Mountain Dew.
One of the biggest challenges I think any in-house team has is this artificial delineation. It's like a zero-sum game. It's either in-house or it's external. We think there's magic in the middle, in the blend of all the resources. I talked earlier about marketing. It's hard enough to break through. We all need to collaborate together. And we're seeing the results now, not just at Vayner, but clearly the results are better, but also at BBDO and at Goodby and our other partners.
Rob Lanoy, Chief Creative Officer at Vaynermedia, says taking the relationship with PepsiCo to a higher level may be a new model for in-house agencies.
It's a new way for how we work with Pepsi, But I also think it's a really good blueprint for how creative partnerships can function in today's landscape. And that's based on something very simply, what you asked, the why we did this. It was the need to move faster, right? To move faster with more cultural sharpness, to really be on top of storytelling that's right for the now.
The studio is continuing to work closely with other agencies, putting an emphasis on each of the agency's individual strengths and then making the ad creative fly. Chris Beresford-Hill, Worldwide Chief Creative Officer at BBDO, has helped to produce Pepsi ads for years, including the Pepsi Chase Cars campaign from 2024, featuring high-powered Pepsi sports cars following pizza delivery vehicles around LA and handing out a complimentary Pepsi with every pie. He says the most effective case for in-house agencies is when outside ad agencies can tap into the brand's long-term needs and play into each other's strengths without turf battles that can drag everything down.
If our goal is to make Pepsi the most relevant, then I want to be playing with the Gary V. Nick team because they are unsurpassed in their social acumen, and they want to be playing with us because they know we can create the content that makes the hits.
Amrosini says that success for in-house agencies may hinge on breaking down the silos and cultivating meaningful relationships.
I also think, I fundamentally believe collaboration makes for greater work. When you have the insights person there, the strategist, the creative, the brand person, you're going to ensure that the brief is more strategically sound, more deeply rooted in insight, is more inspiring, and is more focused on outcomes than if any one group did it sort of in a silo.
But as the pressure from the top mounts, some brands are rethinking the in-house agency model. Last May, for example, Keurig Dr. Pepper dismantled its internal creative agency, Liquid Sunshine, as the company moves away from an in-house creative model and shifts work to external firms, according to Ad Age. Yet overall, the sector remains healthy. As they jockey for precious ad budgets, there are several ways that external agencies can mitigate the growing shift of work to in-house agencies, namely understanding business needs and being nimble. Agencies also need to be at the forefront of new channels and sharpen their focus on creative and complex media challenges facing CMOs and marketers.
You need to create an ecosystem that nets more wins, more effective work. Sustained excellence is what we're trying to create. Not a hole-in-one every now and then, but sustained excellence on all of our brands. To break through, you need fresh perspectives. So external agencies, critical. They're not going anywhere. We need them to succeed. But they need partners who understand and can, as Jayne said, champion scary ideas. That's how you get breakthrough. Ideas that make you feel uncomfortable, but uncomfortable, scary ideas require friends.
For On Scope, this is Matthew Schwartz.